morning everybody and welcome to the Tangela Solo Run on the RetroBrown channel. This is going to be an interesting one because this is the only Pokemon in Gen 1 which is a mono grass type. Every other grass type's got a subtype like Psychic, Poison. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Let's have a look at that base stat total of 435. HP at 65, attack 55, kind of middle of the road, same with the speed at 60, but a whopping 115 in defense and 100 in special because this is Gen 1. And you know what? It hasn't had the special split yet. Our rival for today is going to be, I don't know how to pronounce it, it's Bimet? I'm not too sure. Either way, you're the rival for today, hope you enjoy this, and welcome to the channel. So, let's go pick up our Tangela, and I completely forgot you need to go into the patch of grass before you actually start this. But we are going to choose Tangela as our Pokemon, which means Charmander will be the rival's Pokemon. And look at that move set that we start off with. We start off with Constrict and Bind. Arguably two of the, probably in the top 10 of the worst moves in Gen 1. We start off with two of them. Good thing about Bind though, it is like a wrap move. It does actually constrict them so they can't attack while we are using Bind. And that's going to be a lot more useful than Constrict. Hands down, far more important. Because of that though, we do beat the very first fight and we progress on to starting this game up. Because Tangela is a Pokemon you get pretty late into the game, you get it just after you've, well, on the way to Cinnabar when you've got Surf, because it's on the patch of grass literally just beyond that fence there. So, because of that, it actually starts its next move that you'll learn at level 29 of all times. Yeah. Good thing we're not doing this in Pokemon Yellow, because we actually wouldn't get Bind until level 24, which is even worse. Big drawback of being a mono grass type is the fact that we actually are weak to poison here. We don't have a neutrality against it, but we also don't have a 4 times weakness to bug. So there are ups and downs to this, but pretty much, considering there's a lot of poison type Pokemon, or at least a poison type moves, especially in the early game with the Weedles and likes the Grimer and Coffin in Mount Moon, we need to make sure we don't get poisoned or hit by Poison Sting, because that will do quite a bit of damage. But I'm going to see what we can do against Brock's gym at quite low level really. We're going to go against the junior trainer first just to get that little smidgen more experience, but we should be alright. Now by the time we're actually going to start learning some moves in this game, pretty much we'll already have Mega Drain. We'll be around about Celadon City stage, so to be fair, Absorb is probably not going to be used whatsoever. We don't get Vine Whip in this in this game. It's only in Pokemon Yellow where you get Vine Whip. So after that, the first useful move that we'll actually get is going to be Poison Powder level 32. At least by level up anyway. In terms of the TM moveset, we don't have all too much to work with as well, but none of that is available before Brock, so we've got to deal with what we've got. So, considering we don't have too much to work with here, it's just Bind strats the entire way, and I have sped this up to 300 times speed just to make sure that we can get through this and not waste too much time. So, Bind is like Wrap, except I think it's around about the same power, so it's technically the exact same move, apart from maybe the accuracy is different. 75% accuracy, so we will miss quite a few times. And it also doesn't have the greatest amount of PP, so with only 20. So in a first attempt, we do get taken down by Brock. So this time we go up to level 14, which is the level cap, and we will see how we do this time. We can outspeed the Geodude quite comfortably, and Bind just works in our favour this entire time. We get quite a lot of Constrict turns, which means that we've got quite a few Binds to go into the Onix with. And we've got, pretty much we are not taking any damage in this fight at the moment. Interesting thing to say again, as I've said on quite a few videos when using Wrap, when they're using Bind, and then you use a constricted move like Bind, it only counts for the very first hit. So even if you hit 5 times, it'll only count for the very first hit and accumulate that damage. Because of that though, and being at the level cap, we can beat Brock quite comfortably really, and progress on to the next route, which of course brings in a lot more bug types with Poison Sting, which we don't really have to worry about too much. But another drawback of starting off with this moveset, every fight's going to take just that bit longer, and I think if we'd started with likes of Vine Whip or even Tackle of all things, we would be getting a much better end time that you will soon see right at the end. But because we're having to rely on Constrict, and it would be a low power move, well, and Bind as well, yeah, we're going to take quite a lot of damage. We're going to take a lot of turns to be able to beat these fights, and we are going to lose time in this very early game. Bringing ourselves into Mount Moon, there's not too much we can pick up here. We can't pick up Mega Punch because Tangela has no arms. It's only got feet, legs and tentacles. And in itself, it's quite a creepy Pokemon just because what is below those vines that we don't know about. Yeah, I mean, it's just got eyes and it's got a black body. Other than that, we don't know much else about Tangela. But the trainers aren't exactly too much of an issue. We're at level 17 coming out of Mount Moon. And it's just going to take a while for us to get through any of these fights. And it's going to take us a while, well, not all too much longer before we actually get our first TM move that we are going to learn. And if you have looked at the right hand side there to look at the TM movesets we can get, you'll know exactly which move I'm going to be going for because it's hands down my favourite move in Gen 1. And you get it very early on, which makes these runs so much easier when you can actually learn it. And that of course is going to be Body Slam, but we can only get that when we've gone to the SSN. Let's see how we do against Misty anyway. So considering we've got a mono grass type, that means that the AI says they aren't going to use their water type moves, which means we can get rid of using, well, them using Bubble Beam, which is perfect for us because we don't want to see Bubble Beam whatsoever. It's a powerful move. But even with just using Bind and them using Tackle, we do take quite a lot of hits when Bind does not work in our favour and hits more than 2 times in a row. And the fact it also misses sometimes, but Starmie this time, bit too powerful. But we can go and get a little bit more experience just before going against her again. This time around level 20, we're dealing out a tiny bit more damage, which really does make the difference, and we've got a bit more speed to work with. In all honesty, that stat spread and being a monograss type in Gen 1, not that bad at all. I actually think Tangela is very underrated for this generation. The reason why a lot of people don't like it is the late availability and not a very diverse move spread, plus lower speed, which means it probably hasn't been used in competitive very often. But in a solo run setting, honestly kind of fun to use. I would definitely recommend this one. We beat Misty after going up to level 20 and then we go straight to Nugget Bridge to take on the rival. Bemet, I'm going to just say Bemet for the rest of this video because I don't know how to properly pronounce that. Not a problem for us whatsoever. The Pidgeotto won't have a flying type move which is super effective against us until Silph Core. So for now, we can just use Bind and get ourselves through this, beat Nugget Bridge, and the biggest problem of course is going to be the Charmander with Ember, but as long as we can outspeed and constrict him, he's not going to be an issue whatsoever. We take him down no problems. That brings us to the SSM where we can finally pick up Body Slam. And of course, we have the little junior trainer here we have to contend with just beforehand. Annoyingly, I've run out of Bind PP, so I'm having to rely on Constricted. You can just see here how bad this move is. Even at level 22, and we've got much better attacker than this Nidoran at base, it still takes a hell of a lot of hits to take down the Nidoran. We go up to level 23 though, pick up Body Slam, and progress on to the rival. Now with Body Slam on our moveset, this should not be an issue whatsoever. It's going to be the main move we use moving forward, and we can take out the Pidgeotto with 2 hits. Raticate goes down to 2 as well, and Kadabra should go down to 1 with it having quite low defences. Charmeleon's out last, and it does get an Ember in, but because of our special stat, it doesn't honestly do all too much. We get a comfortable win and progress on to Lieutenant Surge. Now with Lieutenant Surge being an electric type leader, we are not going to have a problem here because we resist electric type moves. Most of these Pokemon are quite defensively weak, so Body Slam, honestly the perfect move for this fight. We paralyze his Raichu, and it goes down to 4 Body Slams. Easy done, easy badge, Surge is being demoted. Annoyingly we can't learn any other really good moves really, but either way. That brings us to Rock Tunnel with the Exploding Hiker, and this is a problem. Yes, we have good defences, but 3 exploding Pokemon here, that's going to be an issue, especially with the side effect that Self-Destruct has, where it lowers your defense, or is that just Explosion? I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, we're going to have to rely on Body Slam to get through this, but I also don't want to use all too much PP of it because we have the rest of the stone to contend with. We need to get this Graveler paralysed, that way we can actually tank at least 2 Self-Destructs. If we'd been hit by the second Geodude who I took down with Bind, with a Self-Destruct, we probably would have lost that fight. That brings us into Lavender Tower, and of course another rival fight with Bemet. And this one shouldn't be too much of a problem. Annoyingly, we do get Sand Attack to start off with, and then the Execute puts us to sleep. Thankfully, it doesn't have the likes of Poison Powder or Stun Spore in this fight, it's just got Hypnosis Barrage. And it's just going to be until we can wake up, we'll be fine, really. Our defenses are pretty good that we're already taking 1 point of damage per hit. It's just kind of annoying, it elongates the fight more than necessary. The Gyarados, though, is a problem. Dragon Rage, you can see there is a 40 power move, and we'll always do 40 power regardless. We actually do learn Absorb, but we have not got a need to use it because we're going to get a much better move very, very quickly. Body Slam gets us the win, and we can progress on to Celadon. Now in the underground between Lavender Tower and Celadon, you can pick up an elixir that's hidden on the ground. You just got to kind of mash it and look along the bottom row here until you find it. After that though, you've got a well-needed elixir which you will need for the league. In total, I would say you need probably 4 or 5 elixirs to do this, and then thankfully you can pick them up in quite easy places along the route. After that though, we're going to do our little errands in Celadon City, so we're going to go and pick up Fly, and then we'll go to the department store, and also we'll go against the gym first. Now this should be an easier gym for us because we do have the grass monotype, meaning they will not use their powerful grass type moves, but there are other moves they will use, such as Poison Powder, which the AI thinks will be super effective. And it may as well be proven to be that, because you know what, Poison Powder hits and that puts us in a very bad position. After that we get wrapped and we are just taking loads of damage from poison. Tangela comes out, and as well of course it's Tangela v Tangela, and this Tangela just decides to be an arsehole. Like, he decides to use Bind and let the poison damage accumulate up. She uses a super potion, just being so cheesy, and then Vileplume with its moves, we just don't have enough HP to make it work. So if we can get through this without being poisoned, we should be fine, but even with being poisoned, we might actually have a better time. This time I opt to start off by using Bind and trying to use the strategies on them. And if we can take the RetroBrown without getting poisoned, we'll be fine. Yep, there we go, poison. We're not being poisoned. That means Tangela will not do all too much damage against us with Bind and Constrict. Bringing us into Vileplume, and this is an easy fight from here. We do get poisoned eventually by the Vileplume, but it's too little too late. We should have been poisoned earlier on, and then they should have had a chance. There's the 4th badge, and we pick up Mega Drain, which is a great move for us to use, especially with that 100 base special. And we're going to use it straight away in this fight against Giovanni. It sweeps his first 2 Pokemon very, very comfortably. And the Kangaskhan, we're going to go for Poison Powder, just cheese it out a little bit, get its HP a little bit lower, and then use Mega Drain and combination of Mega Drain and Body Slam to take it down. That's pretty good. We're progressing through this very, very quickly, but going back to Lavender Tower, we discover a big problem, and that is ghost types. Specifically, well, there's only one type of ghost in Kanto, and that is the Ghastly Light, and they are both poison and ghost type. Which, considering we only have one move to hit them with and one type of move to hit them with, you can imagine that I'm now worried about Agatha later on in this video. We can take them down, but it takes about 4 or 5 Mega Drains to do that. You can pick up another elixir just there, and then you can also pick up another one directly on the next floor there. So in a short space of time, we've got 3 elixirs that we can use. After Lavender Tower, we are going to go straight to Silphco, because with our bulk, I honestly think we'll be able to do this quite comfortably. Once we've healed up, we can head straight over to Silphco, and we will head straight up to floor 5. We've got no reason to go to floor 10 to pick up Earthquake. We could go pick up the Carbos and the Rare Candy, but to be fair, honestly I think we might be able to do this at quite a low level, considerably. Grass is pretty good type in this generation, especially for trying to complete the game at a low level. As we saw in my Venusaur run recently, like that was quite a low level. Yeah. Once we've got the card key though, we can progress straight over, and we're not going to go straight for the rival. We're going to go and open this up and then go visit the nurse, because if we take a lot of damage against the rival, it's always worth going back here. Plus, we're already paralysed from the Arbok just previously before. It's not a problem whatsoever. These Pokemon aren't a problem for us. Body Slam can just work our way through them. And yeah, I rely on Body Slam a hell of a lot on this channel. If you've never watched one of my videos before, it's just such a good move to be using in Gen 1. I pick it up at every instance you can. Now we've healed up and I accidentally run into this guy here. We might as well get a little bit more experience, because with being Rival 5, we probably will need it. It's easily one of the harder rival fights in the entire game. The Weezing's not going to be a problem whatsoever. It only uses Tackle and a little Smog. But there we go. Now we're free to go heal up and then go against the rival. And this rival I'm worried about, because I think it's the first instance that he might have Flamethrower. I'm not too sure. Either way, let's see how we do. So the rival starts off with Pidgeot, and then a big problem occurs. I forgot that this was the one where he starts using wing attack, and that's super effective on us, and we can't deal out enough damage to deal with the Pidgeot on its own, even when it's paralysed. So what we need to do is go up to level 39 where we can learn Sleep Powder. Now, anyone who knows Pokemon knows that Sleep is busted. Like, Sleep is easily the best status effect that you can inflict. I mean, we get through his first 2 Pokemon incredibly easily. Put the Gyarados to sleep twice, and then we Mega Drain and get our HP back. This is a killer combo to be using. Mega Drain, even though it's only got 40 base power, in this generation is still very good. Like, it is very good. And when you got good special to work with, yeah, it works in our favour. Now, annoyingly, we get disabled by the Alakazam because he doesn't like the fact that we were going to use Body Slam on him. So we decide to use Bind to stall him out until we're no longer disabled. And from there, 2 Body Slams will take him out, bringing us into level 40 against the Charizard, and as long as we can get it to sleep, we've won this fight. We can Body Slam it, it goes back to sleep, but we paralyse it, so we couldn't put it back to sleep, but a critical hit Body Slam gets us the win. This is why we use Body Slam. If not for the fact it deals out good damage, the fact that it paralyses a good amount of the time as well. That brings us to Giovanni, and he's not going to be a problem for us whatsoever, really. The Nidoqueen might be a bit of a problem because it does know Poison Sting, and even though it's not a powerful move, it's still super effective against us. Let's see how we do. Giovanni here starts off with his Nidorino, who will go down to about 2 Body Slams, but we're just going to use Bind and conserve some PP usage on that. Kangaskhan comes out, and here's a good Pokemon to get our HP back up on. But we're at quite high HP, so we're just going to go for the Bind strats, because we need to conserve some PP. And Bind, I can't believe I'm still using it this late on in the game, but yeah, Bind is still a good move at this point in the game, even though I would still say it's probably in the top 10 worst moves in the whole game. Rhyhorn's out next, and a perfect Pokemon to get our HP back against with Mega Drain. And then once we've got Nidoqueen to sleep, well, see, that's what I mean. Poison Sting there is only a 15 base power move, and yet, with the stab damage on Nidoqueen, it does about 1/5 of our HP, which is quite a lot in hindsight. But with Sleep Powder, it becomes an easy fight, and we beat Silph very, very comfortably. That brings us over to the next gym badge, and I'm going to go straight for Sabrina, considering we are in Saffron, and the fact we've got Body Slam in our moveset. Let's see how we do. Sabrina's going to start off with her Kadabra, and as long as we can outspeed, which I don't think we can't. And Psybeam does quite a lot of HP, so I'm going to try and recover some HP back from that. If we can take it out while it's still asleep, that'd be perfect. There we go, and we're nearly at full HP going into Mr. Mime. Confusion doesn't do all too much, and we can go and take it down with Body Slam. Thankfully, it hasn't self-reflect or barriers. We get the Venom off asleep, but straight away it poisons us, which is not a great scenario. We're losing HP fast, and we've got Alakazam to contend with. Psybeam gets it correct, of course. Alakazam's speed is pretty damn good in Gen 1, and because of how crit mechanics work in Gen 1 as well, it also means they're going to get quite a lot of crits. If the higher your speed, the more crits you get. That's why Persian's a good Pokemon in Gen 1. We get through this attempt pretty comfortably. We do manage to miss the Poison Powder this time around. Thankfully, it's only got 75% accuracy. And we hit our Sleep Powder going into it. That means we're into Alakazam pretty much at full HP. We get it to sleep, and a couple of Body Slams gets us the win. Second time win against Sabrina, I'm not too mad about that whatsoever. With 5 gym badges in total, that means we can now progress on to Koga. And Koga's the reason why I decided to go against Sabrina first. We are weak to poison. So, yeah, this will not be an easy fight. Sludge will do massive damage against us. So let's see how we do anyway. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. But I've been wrong before. We'll soon find out. So Koga's got 4 Pokemon, 2 Coughings, a Muck, and a Weezing. The Weezing, oh, for God's sake, we get poisoned straight away. See, this is what I mean about Sludge. They're not the greatest attacking Pokemon, which is why he uses X attacks. And Poison is a physical type in Gen 1. Don't know if it changed in later generations off the top of my head, but yeah. It's a physical type move in Gen 1. So, we managed to take down this first 2 Pokemon, and we're on quite low HP. So, 16 HP left. I don't think we're going to win this one unless we can recover back HP with Mega Drain, but nah. Poison damage takes us out, and we need to try this again. I think we can do this if we don't get poisoned straight away. So this time round, Sleep Powder hits first time, and we take down the coffin, bringing us into the muck at full HP, and we get it to sleep straight away. Rinse and repeat. This should be working in our favour this time round. We managed to get through all the first 3 Pokemon he has and get all the way through to the Weezing without taking a single point of damage. He wakes up straight away after 1 Sleep Powder, and Body Slam's going to be a 6-hit KO to take him down. He starts using X attacks, but he stays asleep for that entirety of that fight, meaning we get a win without taking any damage, and we pick up the Toxic TM, which in a sense could also be a good strategy to use, but I've got something else on my mind that I want to be doing. Let's see how we do in Cinnabar and against the Fire type trainer, Blaine. This one might be a problem. We want Blaine's Volcano badge, he doesn't want to give it to us, but we put him to sleep and put the odds in our favour. We Body Slam the Growlithe down twice to take it down and bring ourselves into the Ponyta, who uses Fire Spin. Fire Spin, kind of annoying, but thankfully it doesn't really do all too much to us with being quite a low power move. It's just annoying that it has the Constrict effect. We're not going to learn Slam. Slam is an awful move. 80 base power, 75% accuracy. Why would you ever think to use this unless it was you had nothing else to use? The Rapidash, of course, goes for Fire Spin as well, and it does outspeed us, so if it can spam Fire Spin, we're in a big amount of trouble. It continuously wakes up but also misses its Fire Spins, giving us a chance to heal up with Mega Drain. So we want to be on full HP going into this Arcanine. It does have Fire Blast, and that might be a one-shot on us. He goes for Ember, of all things. Oh yeah, Blaine's AI is kind of random, so he'll use his Retroactive Super Potions quite a bit. He'll use random moves, but we take him down first time. Tangela is kind of a beast. It's very defensively bulky with a special. Especially, like, its defense has been 115, incredible. Like, that's a very high defense stat for a grass Pokemon, higher than Venusaur. But the special being 100 as well, I'm pretty sure that's higher than Venusaur's as well. Either way. Let's see how we do against the final gym fight, which is Giovanni, and we want the Earth Badge. He's not going to give it to us, so we need to drain all of his Pokemon of their life and take him down pretty comfortably. We do get Sand Attack, which is kind of annoying, but that brings us into the Nidoqueen. And this Nidoqueen is going to be a problem. Thankfully, we can get it to sleep after about 3 tries. We aren't poisoned going into this. We need to use Bind just to try and do a bit more chip damage. But yeah, I kind of should have just went for Body Slam here. And I've wasted time by using Bind, really. Bind. Either way, we managed to take it down eventually, but we've lost quite a lot of HP that was needlessly lost. We get poison against the Nidoking, so we need to take this down very quickly. Mega Drain's not hitting. Oh, there we go. It's kind of keeping us about even from the poison damage, a little bit over that. So we could keep using Mega Drain, but we need to keep at least 1 or 2 for the final Rhydon. Rhydon will pretty much go down to 1 Mega Drain because it's 4 times weak. And that means the fight is pretty much ours straight away. Giovanni beaten first time, all 8 badges. I'm honestly quite happy with this run so far. We've made up a lot of time after we've learned Body Slam from losing quite a lot in the early game because we had to rely on Bind. Let's see how we do against the rival to the west of Viridian. His Pidgeot is going to be very powerful, especially with Wing Attack and the fact we couldn't hit Sleep Powder first time because it's the RetroBrown channel and we miss a lot and we also get KO'd a lot. I am not a channel where I just cheese the footage and tell you that I did everything first time. I will show you that I have actually... some fights are just... I'm not going to be one of them channels that literally just says, oh, I did everything first time, here's my footage that I've cut and edited and, you know, you will never know because you don't have the original footage. No, I will actually show you when I've lost, because otherwise it's boring content. If I showed you that I won every single fight without being genuine about it, then yeah, that's so boring in my opinion. I want to see both the highs and losses of a video on a solo run. Anyway, I've talked to you a lot from that little tangent. We've managed to be poisoned, we've taken quite a lot of HP back from that Gyarados. We get the Alakazam to sleep, but we are not in a good position with being poisoned. Now we can't also put that Alakazam to sleep, as I've only realised after it used Psychic. It was paralysed, so that means it can't get put to sleep. So let's try this again. I've got up to level 51 here. I've used a few rare candies to do this so we can save some time. And this time we get much better luck against the Pidgeot. We take it down and go into the Rhyhorn, taking out in one with a Mega Drain. The execute, we get to sleep first time, but as long as we can take this out without getting poisoned, we're in a good position here. Sleep powder doesn't hit the first time round, but also he uses Leer on us, which induces the badge boost glitch. Now, if you're new to my channel, I do not cheese the badge boost glitch. I do not set it up myself, because that was a rule that everyone was kind of getting bored with, was relying on the badge boost glitch to make these runs possible. But I've got no control over whether the AI uses a move like Leer and inadvertently induces that badge boost glitch because it's lowered one of my stats. So the badge boost glitch is banned on my channel, and I try and do all of these runs without cheesing it. Like, this is just the strength of the Pokemon you are seeing. It is not increasing its stats to be ridiculous. And it's only in this generation that I do this with. The Gen 2 runs I do use stat boosting moves, but that's because the badge boost glitch doesn't exist and it doesn't ridiculously increase every single stat. So yeah, badge boost glitch is banned, and we can see how we do against Lorelei. Now, you might think we've got an easy fight here considering we're a grass type going up against mostly water types, but it's those ice type moves which will do super effective damage on us, or at least really good damage on us, that are going to be a problem. As you can see there, Aurora Beam gets a crit, and yeah, we take a loss. But I don't think we're too far away. We were just getting bad luck with the sleep. We can outspeed the Dewgong, we can outspeed the Cloyster. So what I need to do is try and take them down and also conserve use of Mega Drain in the meantime. Cloyster's defense, as well, its special defenses are pretty garbage, so 2 Mega Drains will take it down, brings us into Slowbro. Slowbro, not a problem really whatsoever. It is pretty tanky, but with a couple of Mega Drains and Body Slams, we can take it down pretty comfortably. Annoyingly, she does use retroactive super potions, but again, I didn't realise that it was paralysed, and I kept spamming sleep powder here. Yes, I am human, and I do mess up a little bit, but yeah. And then we encounter a new problem. Ice Punch Jinx, who crits us in one. Yeah. Third try lucky. This time, we are still going into this at level 52. I've not used any rare candies since the rival fight just before the league. But honestly, with this moveset, I think we could do it. Like, at quite a low level. I think we could do this before level 60 with just a Tangela. We go up to level 53, we get the Cloyster asleep, and it's pretty much rinse and repeat the previous attempt up until we get to this Jinx. The Jinx, with it being a Psychic Ice type, is a problem because the Ice type has got stab damage on it. It's a powerful Pokemon. And also outspeeds us as well. It's quite a fast Pokemon, surprisingly. We get the Slowbro asleep, and it's just a little bit matter of time of body slamming it into the ground and getting rid of her potions. Jinx comes out, and we can tank an Ice Punch on half HP. Now, I am going to try and recover some HP here because the next Pokemon coming up is the Lapras, and we get it to sleep first time. We actually outsped the Lapras. That's huge. With that, though, we can use Mega Drain, get back up to full HP, and from there, the fight is ours. We've beaten Lorelei with a Tangle at level 54. I'm impressed by that myself. Let's see how we do against Bruno. What am I saying? It's Bruno, he's trash. We're going to completely decimate him here. Mega Drain, one-shots the Onix. Sleep Powder on the Hitmonchan just for a little bit of insurance, and we'll body slam it into the ground. Not a problem. We're even still using Bind in the Elite Four. Like, this is how sparse our moveset is, really. Wow, that Hitmonlee did a lot of damage. I'm going to have to recover a little bit of HP up, bringing us into the second Onix, where we can get nearly all of our HP back up against the Machamp. And from here, body slam our way to victory. Hitmonlee, you know what, actually gave us a little bit of a challenge there. I'll give kudos to Bruno on that. But that brings us to the bigger problem, and that is, of course, what I alluded to earlier in this video. That is Agatha. And yeah, I originally went into this by trying to opt to use Solar Beam and Mega Drain. But we get put to sleep straight away, and Dream Eater destroys us. Yeah. 8 HP to work with against a full team. This ain't happening for us. We need a different move to make this work. And the perfect move for that is Mimic. We managed to get them asleep first turn. This time, we can learn Dream Eater, which is actually super effective against all of her team. With it being a Psychic type move, and we've got Sleep Powder, we've got the perfect move here to keep our HP up, to deal big damage out to every single one. This is what I should have done in the first attempt instead of trying to learn Solar Beam and actually use that for once, because I don't use Solar Beam very often. Because with it being a 2-turn move, and you don't get Sunny Day until the next generation, I don't see the point in using it in Gen 1. So, once we've got all of our Pokemon asleep, we can use Dream Eater, take them out, and this becomes a very easy fight in hindsight. If you're going to use the Tangela against Agatha, use Mimic strats. It's not guaranteed because they do outspeed you, but it makes it a lot easier when you can get Dream Eater. That brings us to Lance. Final challenge before the Elite Four champion. Let's see how we do against him here, and this should be alright for us. One of the disadvantages we do have here though is the fact that we're not a poison subtype. Now the reason why that's a big deal in this fight is because his dragon Pokemon, the Dragonair and the Dragonite, all have Psychic type moves on their moveset, and his AI will tell him to only use Psychic type moves if he sees a poison type. We don't have that, which means he is going to use the likes of Hyper Beam and other powerful moves like that. So what we need to do is make sure we get them to sleep. Now in hindsight, Mimic and Hydro Pump, not the right play. It's only useful for one of his Pokemon, and that of course is going to be the Aerodactyl, and we wasted quite a bit of PP trying to take down this Dragonair. So I'm trying to conserve my Body Slam PP here because we need it for that final Dragonite. So I'm trying to take it down with just Mega Drain, because we don't really need it all too much in this fight after... Well, we don't really need it in this fight, in all honesty. We get to the Aerodactyl, we get it to sleep, we use Hydro Pump, and that should be a one-shot if we can hit. There we go, and that brings us through to the final Dragonite. Now, Slam does decent damage, but Hyper Beam does even more. Thankfully, with the Recharge turn, we can use Mega Drain. It's not going to do all too much. Yeah, this is why Mega Drain is pointless in this fight. Use a Dragon Rage, and we're down to the wire. He goes for a Hyper Potion, and then wakes up straight away and Hyper Beams us in the face. Very close there, but it's possible at this level. We just need the right RNG, really. This time as well, I'm going to learn the move Hyper Beam, which I've honestly started using a lot more in recent videos because it deals out massive damage. And if you can take them out in one hit, why wouldn't you use it? Because in this generation, if you take them out in one with Hyper Beam, you don't have the recharge turn. It's a weird little quirk for this generation. We take down the first two Pokemon pretty comfortably, and the second Dragonair starts using Dragon Rage. So we're going to have to use Mega Drain, get our HP back up, because we don't want to take big damage against the next couple of Pokemon. At least 100 HP will be alright to use, because I'm going to use Mega Drain against the Aerodactyl. We do get confused though, which is kind of annoying, and he wakes up straight away. But with that, he's only going to use Bite, maybe Hyper Beam, Supersonic. We're actually in a good position here. We managed to get pretty much all the way back up to full HP because he uses a Hyper Potion on himself. And we're just going to use up all of our Mega Drains trying to take down this Pokemon. So, we're at 91 HP going into this Dragonite because we managed to take another Hyper Beam to the face. Getting him to sleep, we'll use Body Slam, take out a little bit of chip damage, and put him into a rage where a Hyper Beam will take him out in one. And there we go. Level 57, we've beaten Lance, and that brings us to the final challenge, which of course is Bemet. So, again, Pidgeot is going to be a bit of an issue if it can hit us. And of course, it does no mirror move this time round, which it seems to spam quite a bit here. Confusing considering it does have Sky Attack, and that would have taken us out in one, but either way. We can just try and chip away at it. Annoyingly, he does use his full restore there, and we do take some damage. We need to keep it asleep, we need to use Body Slam, and then get through to the Alakazam. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to do this first time round, because this Alakazam can hit very hard. Psychic, ooh, we don't get the Sleep Powder off. Yeah, 2 Psychics take us down. Oh well, let's try that again. That's just bad luck, that previous attempt. So, Sleep Powder here. We managed to hit it pretty much first time there. And we're just going to go for the straight away offensive against the Pidgeot, take it down, and go into the Alakazam. If we can hit... Ooh, we hit the Sleep Powder. Psychic did a hell of a lot of damage there. Thankfully, Alakazam's defenses are pretty trash, and Rhydon's special is pretty awful. Getting us back most of our HP with Mega Drain, that brings us into Executor, who we managed to get to sleep. Now from here, we'll Body Slam our way through this. We managed to paralyze it instead of putting it back to sleep. But we've only got 2 uses of Body Slam left, so we're going to mimic Hyper Beam from the Gyarados. Yeah, I completely forgot this guy had a Hyper Beam. but it also gives us another attacking move to use against the next Pokemon coming up. We'll Mega Drain a bit and get our HP back, because with the Charizard coming out, yeah, we're going to need that HP. So once we can get this Gyarados back to sleep, and it also leers us, which means we've got a little bit more to work with. Charizard comes out, but we can't outspeed. Takes us down to 57 HP, and you know what? That Leer might have actually mattered. From there, we Body Slam, and we Hyper Beam for the win. Oh, 2 Hyper Beams for the win. There we go. Tangela finishes at level 58. I told you this was going to be under level 60. I told you. This is honestly a much more fun Pokemon than I ever realised. I know I've been saying that quite a lot lately with the choices we brought up, but you know, 4 hours and 3 minutes. Tangela is very underrated. I really think it's a very underrated Pokemon. Thank you for getting to this point in the video. Let's spin the wheel and see what we get to do next week. So, first choice on the wheel today is going to be Kabuto. Been a while since we've done a fossil Pokemon, and that would round out all of the fossils for this generation. Second up is Dragonite. I really want to do a Dragonite video, but this is the RetroBrown channel. I always do the hardest option, really. Last up's Tentacruel. Now, we're going to go with Kabuto. We'll get out of the way. If you got to this point in the video, guys, please smash that like and subscribe, you legends. Really helps out the channel, and I just really appreciate it. We'll see you next week for the Kabuto run. Take care.